Hi everyone, today I'm telling part 3 of my story growing up as a bi, fluid, non-defining man. I'm telling about how I grew up, how I came out, and all the things that I experienced. Just being one of these people in this world who has a non-defined kind of complex orientation. So I'm excited to tell you. Check it out. Hi everyone, thank you so much for listening to my story so far. It's been really great to tell it, and thank you for the comments, people relating, people connecting to what I'm saying and telling their own stories. My story is just one of many stories, so this is a space where I really hope that we can share and connect with each other. If you remember at the end of the last part of my story, I had just kind of had my first serious girlfriend. I was brokenhearted, and I really got to thinking like, maybe I'm broken. And that's where we're gonna pick up today. So I was in my kind of mid-teens at this time, and incidentally, I was living in England near London, and actually moved up to Scotland. I'm half Scottish, and I had a pretty difficult family situation where my mum kind of left to like live up there, and then like my dad moved, and we got moved about, and like I basically ended up going to Scotland. And this was really a time where I was questioning my sexuality, who I was. I really didn't know that bisexual was a thing. It was kind of in the 2000s, so like it really wasn't talked about. And I had to actually leave the couple of queer friends that I had made down in England. These people were really my support, and having to leave them was incredibly difficult. Leaving friends and moving to a new place when you're in the middle of your teenage years is not easy as it is, but being who I was, they were my only kind of support, so that was tough. I realized something, and that is that although really sexuality wasn't talked about that much, the situation was difficult in the south of England, going up to Scotland, kind of near Glasgow, basically where my mum lived, was a whole different world. In the south of England, it was kind of starting to be okay for like some people to come out as gay. In Scotland, it wasn't, at least in that area. I kind of saw quite a lot of people who were, I guess, quite clearly hiding, and it was just so unacceptable to be out. Just the culture where I was, it was quite a rough school that I went to. I was picked on quite horrendously for like having an English sounding accent. So, you know, there was like no space to explore or to be open with my sexuality. I actually didn't feel very safe in that school. It was pretty scary place, and I stuck out anyway. So this was really, really difficult. And it made me realize, you know, just the difference between being in an accepting area and a non-accepting area, even within the UK, you know, so let alone other places in the world. Goodness sake, I can't even imagine. And I unfortunately got very depressed. I didn't manage to make any friends. I didn't know who I was. I had all these confusing thoughts. And it was in these kind of years where I started to kind of go out, you started to be in your kind of late teens. There would be parties. We would, try and go out drinking and stuff like that. And I found this whole situation extremely traumatic. Who did I hang out with? Did I hang out with the guys? None of them wanted to hang out with me because I was not cool. I was not masculine. I was not one of the lads. Did I hang out with the girls? And I kind of felt a bit like a spare wheel with the girls. And once again, it was very confusing. Like, am I one of the girls? I certainly don't feel like one. Am I their friend? Am I attracted to some of them? And where do I fit? So I remember going out and not only feeling alienated from that whole, boy-girl culture, but also feeling incredibly unattractive, like nobody even considered me. It was like I was this kind of invisible person who, people would be, oh yeah, Mark, he's fine. But like, I wasn't in the structure. I wasn't eligible. I wasn't considered attractive, or, I didn't have a place. And that was really, really hard. At this time, I also struggled to fit in with the culture as well. Music has always been a big thing for me. I was lucky enough to learn music from an early age, and it's a great joy to me. I can play several instruments, and I love to perform. But there was this culture at the time of like all the lads, would be in like indie bands, and everyone would go crazy about these indie bands, and they would all go and watch them, and I would be dragged along. And I just used to stand and look at these appalling bands. I mean, they were absolutely terrible, shocking, so bad. Bless them, they were doing their thing. And I was just thinking, I have this talent for music. I have this passion inside me. I would love to be up there performing, but nobody is into the kind of music that I like. Nobody wants to express themselves in the way that I would, and nobody wants to make music with me. I just felt like I was an alien. I felt like I had been plonked on this planet Earth. A bit of my brain just obviously hadn't formed, and I just didn't understand how people were acting. Why did they like this music? Why did they segregate themselves into boys and girls? Why did they act the way they acted? Why did no one like what I liked or was interested in what I was interested in? Like, why was I so different? And I just got into this depression. A lot of things in my life, apart from this, were also very bad. My life was very chaotic, my family life and so on. And I really just went down. And thank goodness I was able to have the kind of wherewithal to decide that I was going to focus on my studies. This was the outlet. I didn't really have any friends at school, so I used to basically sit at break times and just study. I studied. I was like, what have I got? I can study. And the idea behind this was that I have to get out of this place. I have to get out of this town. There has to be something else. And so I thought, well, if you study hard and you get the grades, then you can propel yourself out of the situation. And that is what I did. I put my mind to it. I focused obsessively on school, and I just absolutely bossed it. I got basically straight A's in all of my subjects. Prior to that, I had been kind of average, like not particularly academic. I was okay, but I was just kind of, a B student, basically B's and C's and maybe 1A, something like that. I was kind of middle of the road. In Scotland, I got straight A's because I had this drive. So thankfully, the moment that I was able to move out, I did. I went and I got a job in a hotel far away, where I lived on site, and I was earning my own money. I was working really, really hard. I funneled all my energy into that. I went traveling. I saved my own money. I was living on my own, on my own agenda. And I remember the moment that I kind of first got into that tiny little room in the staff quarters of the hotel that I was working in. I was 18 years old, and I will never forget that moment. I was free. Actually, during this time, because I didn't know that bisexual was a thing, there was only really straight and gay, I decided that I would kind of do an experiment. And this was a very conscious experiment. I thought to myself, okay, I'm working in this hotel for about 6 months. Why don't I try and kind of introduce myself as gay? So every new person I met, I would say, I am Mark, I'm a gay man, and we'll see. We'll see if that makes any difference. So that's what I did. People were cool about it, which was nice. Lots of international people, just like really kind of cool people. Didn't make a difference. I thought, because of what you're told, that I would come out, I would say I was gay, and then suddenly I would feel this amazing sense of relief, and I would find out that this is who I'd always been. And, I would find some wonderful person who was going to whisk me off my feet. None of that happened. People were just like, oh, okay. And I just felt completely the same. I didn't have any romantic engagements. I didn't get with anyone. I didn't feel any different. And so, yeah, I kind of did that experiment, and it didn't really make much difference. So there we go. So that was the end of my school life, coming into my kind of, I guess, year of working and traveling. And I will tell you the next part very, very soon. If you like this story, then please share it with anyone who you feel might connect with it. Please write your own stories in the comments, because I'm only one person. I love to hear your stories. If you have any questions or you relate with anything in this video, please come and talk to me. Click subscribe, come and share in our community, and I will look forward to telling you more very soon. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.